All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about a variety of topics, but the first topic we are going to talk about is this surge of Tesla Model Ys that might be coming. There's some photo evidence, some spotted action of some Tesla Model Ys coming out of Giga Texas that might be coming into the pipeline soon. And we'll talk about some of the articles that have talked about, ramp up of production. And because it seems like the Model Y is Tesla's hottest vehicle at the moment, if we take a look at the inventory and what actually has been selling. So we're going to jump into that and plus a variety of different topics today. We'll probably stream for like 30 minutes to an hour. But before we get into all of that, let's roll that intro real quick. So thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, but more on that later. So let's take a look at this. This is a tweet from Joe Tegmeyer. Shout out to Joe TEGDTMER. Quote, lots of white Model Ys at Giga Texas now, probably related to the EV rebates and price reductions. I bet we see a lot of white Model Ys coming over the next month. So this is good because for a while now, there's been mention of Giga Texas ramping up with the Model Ys. And, the Model Y is arguably one of Tesla's hottest selling cars. So let's see if we can see anything in the comments here that might give us some more insight. Whoop. Sorry about that. They can give us any more insights. A little hiccup right there. So look, someone found one that has a photo open. LOL, that's funny. But I mean, there's some articles that's already been talked about Giga Texas ramping up. So here's one from Electric, how Tesla was going to plan massive output for Giga Texas in Q1 of 2023. And in this article, reference how Giga Berlin was producing 2,000 Model Ys per week in that month. And so, Giga Texas is slowly going to ramp up at some point in time. Here's another article that I used to have here, right here. So how Giga Texas is supposed to ramp up to 75,000 units to come out of the Model Y. So that would be super nice, right? Because taking a look at the inventory, there's just not a lot of Model Ys, especially Model Ys under 55K, because there's that tax credit, because you have to be under there. If you don't know what I'm referring to, because of the current price and how the IRS and Treasury have labeled the Tesla Model Y 5-seat as not an SUV, it has to be under $55,000 in terms of price, options, and all that stuff. So right now, the current Model Y long range starts at 52,990 right here. You can see here. And so you can only really add, a few options here or there to really stay under that 55K price point for it to qualify for the tax credit. And so, you have to stay under that 55,000. And so anytime a vehicle or anytime a Model Y that pops up that's under 55K, it quickly disappears. So I just went to waitingfortesla.com. Shout out to Waiting for Tesla, third-party aggregator website that tracks all the inventory, new Teslas out there. And you can see right here, it says, here's one, and pretty much all of the other ones are above 55K. And I bet if I refresh this right now, or if I try and go to reserve this one, it's already gone. So pretty much any Model Y that's under 55K, bam, poof, it goes very, very quickly. And it makes sense because it qualifies for the tax credit. It qualifies for that $7,500, not incentive, but something that you can get back when you file for your taxes in 2024. And if you're confused on how that works, I've actually made a video about that, kind of reviewing how the tax credit actually works, how much income you actually need to make, and so on and so forth, because there is a lot of confusion about that tax credit. And so it certainly makes sense because taxes are always confusing at the end of the day. So I get it. But if you are looking for a Model Y, what I recommend is go for waitingfortesla.com, look in your Tesla inventory, contact your local Tesla advisor, try and figure out how to lock down your VIN on a vehicle, on a Model Y, because things could change and then we might not be able to see kind of what's out there for, we don't know what's going to actually happen after March, after the earnings call, after all this stuff. The prices and all that stuff could actually change. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff going out there. It makes sense, right? The Model Y under 55K is a bargain Tesla at that point, because it's an SUV, you have more space, and it qualifies for that $7,500 tax credit, which then brings it all the way to like the mid 40s or 42 if you're getting the Model Y all-wheel drive standard range, or if you're getting the Model Y long range, it's like 46 or something and some change or something like that. And, a lot of people agree with this, because I put a poll out there. I was trying to see, what is the best deal right now for the Tesla Model 3 or Model Y, if you compare to both of them. And the Model Y long range had an overwhelming 65% at that 45K price point, because, if you look at it, it's pretty much balanced between what you could pay across all these different Teslas. And so that's why, every Tesla Model Y in inventory, it immediately sells after that. So let me know what you're doing. What are your thoughts? Are you trying to find one in your area? Are you contacting your local Tesla sales center? Are you having any luck? Or are they basically saying, there's just so much demand for this vehicle, it's going to be tough? But, I do recommend contacting your local Tesla sales center, or calling them, or chatting them. And because they can see what vehicles are incoming, and you want to be able to put your name on an incoming vehicle, so that you can lock down your VIN and take delivery of it sooner than later, because delivery dates might be pushing further, and we'll also talk about that as well. But thanks for watching the stream. Thanks for watching this video. Hey, IND Fusion, welcome. We're going to get into our next topic. That's for sure. But if you're new here, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking. And so let's jump into the next topic. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back to another video. And this next topic we're going to talk about is what to expect from the Tesla earnings call. The earnings call is coming up pretty soon. It's coming up on January 25th. I mean, we don't know exactly what time. Well, actually, no, we do know what time. It's going to be around 2:30 Pacific time. So we're going to talk about what to expect, but we're also going to talk about it in a lens of what we talk about on the channel, right? So Tesla buying, Tesla pricing, what's the production numbers going to be like? So we're going to talk about like probably the 3 or 4 things to expect from the earnings call. And we found this link that people can submit their questions, and of course we can vote on the top one, and we'll see what people are more than likely looking to answer and ask, or get answered and asked. But before we get into that, if you're new to the stream, if you're new to the channel, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best thing on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. So let's take a look at this. This is a shoot. Does that work? Sorry about that. Little hiccup there. Okay, let's see. Let me remove that. Tapia, I just saw you join in. Welcome. So this is a formal question submittal system that Tesla has. They do this actually every single time before any earnings call, because they want to collect questions from their investors or other banks out there, or even just the retail people as well. And so people can actually submit a question, and then it'll get upvoted, basically just like Reddit, in the same sort of way. And the highest upvoted ones most likely get asked during the call. And so let's go through this and see if there's anything interesting in here. So Tesla Q4 2022 earnings Q&A. But my top things, before we get into that, my top three things are, the first one is, why did they discount in December? What was the reasoning behind that? I mean, we probably already know. Why did they discount January 12th so deeply? We probably already know the reasoning for that as well. I also want to know, is there any future discounts planned? Like with production ramping up, is Elon still a volume over profit margin type of strategy? What does he think on that? What does he think of even the current prices as it sits right now? Does he still think it's still too high? And probably my last question I really want to know about is this whole Tesla financing question. Is Tesla financing going to get into the game to finance their own vehicles through their own lending arm or whatever? Are they going to be able to offer competitive rates on their own vehicles? They already have Tesla insurance. Like, why not bring it in-house and have Tesla financing as as well. I mean, mostly all the other OEMs, all the other manufacturers have some sort of program. I'm talking like Mercedes-Benz Financial, BMW Financial, all the other luxury banks and car companies out there. So why not Tesla as well? So let's take a look at this. Let me know what you agree. What are you expecting from the Tesla earnings call? Or what do you want to your answers be asked? But let's take a look at the top one right here. This is probably sorted by most shared, but actually let's go by top voted. It's probably the same thing, right? Okay, so quote, anonymous retail investor asks, quote, after recent price cuts, analysts release expectations that Tesla automotive gross margin, including leases, regulatory credits, will drop below 20%, an average selling price across $47,000 across all models. Where do you see average selling price and gross margin after the price cuts? So that's a pretty interesting question, because there was a article or some data released from Reuters yesterday that Tesla has like anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 in net profit, gross profit margin sold per vehicle. So I mean, now that price cuts have gone down anywhere from $3,000 to $13,000 to $20,000, how does that affect their margins? Because that's a good question. And also it's a good question to see, because if they still have $5,000-$10,000 in margin left, the average that we saw yesterday of like anywhere from $2,000-$3,000 on across other manufacturers, Toyota, GM, and all that stuff, Tesla could still go back down, still go to those levels, and still be kind of right in line with everybody else. So that's a pretty interesting question. I do like that one. So here's the second question. Of course, jumping straight into it. Quote, is Cybertruck production still on track for mid-year? I think there was latest they were saying that it was going to be anywhere from mid-year to the end of the year, but that would be crazy if they were able to release some more information that they are on track for like mid-year, June, July, summer, because that would be the summer of the Cybertruck. That would be pretty cool as well. So this one seems to be like a solar question. This one seems to be like Twitter question. Don't really care about that. We just want to care about, is there any news about vehicle sales and vehicle pricing? So here's another one. Elon has said previously that FSD hardware 4 will most likely come first in the Cybertruck. Is that the current plan, or do you expect to be an upgrade path from hardware 3 to hardware 4? Okay, that's a pretty interesting one, because now, there is this, a thing that hardware 4 is on the horizon. So if they could give us some more insight on that, that would be pretty nice as well. But I really stopped caring about like the hardware stuff, because there's always going to be a better one, a new one. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, here's another one. When will Tesla announce production Cybertruck specs and pricing? And that's an interesting one, because it's been widely thought, because Tesla since removed the Cybertruck pricing from the website, that, the prices are going to be a little bit higher to be in line with the competition, right? Rivian is an 80, 90K truck at this point. So it would probably come in right around there, if not a little bit more. So let's see if there's anything else regarding pricing. But yeah, some definitely interesting stuff. Let me know what you think. I want to know, of course, like how Tesla is going to, address the price discounts over the last quarter or last few months, and is there going to be more pricing discounts coming in the future? Here's a good one. When will Master Plan Part 3 be revealed? And that might be revealed on Investor Day, right? We have this new platform that might be coming out that Tesla might talk about, and people are speculating it's going to be the Model 2 or the Model Q or whatever, like a $25,000 model Tesla vehicle. So that would be a pretty interesting thing if that actually comes out as well. But they're going to really talk about that in their Investor Day, not exactly their earnings call at that point. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff coming out of the gate. I mean, we are 5 days away now at this point. It's going to be January 25th at 2:30 in the afternoon. What is that? What date is that? That's like next Wednesday. So I probably will not be able to listen live, but you definitely will know I will make a video, or I'll try to make a video that evening talking about what my thoughts on it, and ingesting what Elon in the sales executive or executive team talks about the future of this next this next month, the next quarters, March. I can't. I'm surprised no one has asked a question about like the IRS and stuff like that. Let's see if we can do a search, because that's a huge thing, right? About the IRS tax credit, and how the vehicles will be affected by that. And let's see. Here we go. Here's one with only 6 votes, so not really huge. What is your no? Actually, no. That's regarding Powerwall and solar and stuff like that. So I guess okay. So we're 5 votes. Which Tesla models will qualify for the full tax credit after March? But at the same time, like Tesla might know or have some sort of, guess, but the IRS and Treasury could change all of that as well. So they might only be able to speculate. Here's another one. Why doesn't Tesla partner with banks who can offer the IRA tax credit as lease incentive? This will help increase demand from customers who are otherwise not eligible due to income cap. That's a good point. I totally forgot about that. The only reason why other manufacturers like Audi are allowed to pass that $7,500 tax credit on a lease is because Audi Financial is writing that lease for that Audi lease vehicle. But Tesla doesn't necessarily finance vehicles, or we saw some screenshots that some people actually was able to get Tesla's financing LLC on their vehicle. So Tesla, in order to lease and get that tax credit, they would actually need to finance their own vehicles for leasing. And so that's probably why that's more indication why Tesla probably will get into financing or at least leasing in the next year, because they will need to be able to in order to pass that $7,500 tax credit to the customer. So yeah, it doesn't seem like much. It's probably the same question, but that would be interesting if that is asked to Elon and the team, like which vehicles will qualify. But I feel like that's an easy answer for them. They say, we're only subject to IRS and Treasury guidelines, and they're going to release guidelines sometime in March, and we just don't know what, or we have a slight inclination or indication of what they might do, but we of course cannot say 100% for sure. So that's what to expect from the earnings call. Definitely check out this website if you're interested. I'll post it in the chat, and also I'll try and post it in the comments, to see what's like the top voted questions. This, of course, is going to change over the next few days, because we are 5 days away from the next earnings call. But it's gonna be interesting, because like how much profit do they make and how much earnings do they make, because that will also give us some visibility on if they can do some price reductions as well in the next future 6 months to a year. But we'll jump into some of the questions and some of the comments. But before we get into that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them actually include scheduling a call with me where you can ask me any questions one-on-one about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or financing a Tesla. And after you schedule the call, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price, and including financing, in which there's a financing credit union on my list that has rates as low as 3% for 60 months. So definitely check out the Patreon if you're interested. And as an added benefit, I respond to all direct messages or DMs to my Patreon members that send me a message to the Patreon. So definitely check out if you're interested. But let's jump into some of the comments. I don't know. Tapia, I don't know if I can handle another price decrease. It might come. Maybe not Model Y. Model Y long range, it seems to have hit that threshold because it just sells at this point, right? Under 55K. Like everybody recognizes that's a good deal. So there's no reason for Tesla to drop that even more, unless they wanted to clear, all this inventory that's above 55K. Yeah, playing the intro midway, I kind of messed up just a little bit. Warfox, I got 3.3% with my credit union with co-sign with my dad. They told me they'll hold on to for 90 days. Hopefully, due to high amount of inventory, they'll lower the prices more. LMAO. Congrats. That's actually nice. What credit union is that? I want to know. 3.6. Okay. Still good. Still good. Not too bad at the end of it. Let me know what credit union is so we can put it on a list, because I am going to make an updated credit union financing video. I'm just waiting. I have like 2 more credit unions that I found recently that seem to be pretty good and seem to be really easy to join. And so I do want to make a better list for everybody so that people have more options out there, plus the other ones I've mentioned in the other videos in the past as well. So cyber junk Freudian. So yes, cyber never coming, cyber truck at the end of the day. Yeah. I've been waiting. We placed orders a long time ago, And so we have one. Hopefully I do not get banned, and hopefully they keep it. Please, please. I just want to drive the Cybertruck, or at least own one. And I promise I won't flip it. I promise I'll keep it for the right amount of time at the end of the day. But we're going to jump into the next video. Next topic. Well, I guess we don't need to do it, but it seems like on this next topic, it seems like the Tesla price cuts have had a huge success, at least in this market. This market being Tesla in China, and it makes sense, right? I mean, Tesla China seems to lead the global country, or the global, not global country, the world in Tesla price cuts. And then of course people love a good deal. I love a great deal. I love discounts. I want to make sure I'm buying, something that's a better deal. So we'll talk about this article that I found, and we have to see what's going to happen for the US as well, to see, like, right now it seems like the price cuts are a good deal, but there's probably one vehicle that seems like it's not that good deal because of stagnant inventory. So we're going to jump into it. But if you just joined the stream, if you're just joining the channel, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, but more on that later. All right, so let's take a look at this. It's an article from Barron's. Shout out to Barron's. Headline is Tesla price cuts a quote huge success. Market share grows in China. It says investors can see the positive impact of Tesla vehicle price cuts on its stock, and now research show the move has boosted sale and market share. The stock ticker has gone up, but I see Tesla cut prices in China most recently on January 6th. So Wedbush analyst Dan Ives conducted a survey of 500 EV buyers in mainland China to gauge the impact of cuts. Okay, 500 EV buyers is not a big, huge amount of survey, but yeah, I mean, people just love deals. I'm not sure that this headline or this article is a huge shocker, but vehicles sell when people see a good deal, or at least clearance pricing, or something to that effect. And that's why we're seeing, Model Y inventory pretty much just going lower and lower and lower. This is the last Model Y inventory chart. You can see right here. Let me refresh it, and you can see yesterday or the day before was 324 vehicles, and now we are down to 240 Model Ys available for sale. Taking a look at, how many Model Ys, you see that was yesterday 240, now it's 210. And here, whoa, they just dumped a bunch of vehicles under 55K. If you're looking for a Model Y right now under 55K, now is your chance, because and a lot of these are California. I bet these are all gone. Look, gone. Oh no, this one's still available. It basically seems like anytime a Model Y that's under 55K becomes available, it disappears pretty quickly, because, that makes sense. It qualifies for the $7,500 tax credit. And so, yeah, that one is gone. And so, yeah, if you are looking for a Model Y, go to waitingfortesla.com, find a vehicle that matches what you're looking for, and try and solidify your name on a VIN, on a deal, and reserve one, because that's the only way to ensure that you're going to be able to lock down this tax incentive, this tax credit. Because by taking delivery now or through January or even February, but definitely before March. Even March is a little scary to me. I'm not sure I would want to take a delivery in March, because who knows when the tax credit changes. We don't know when the IRS and the Treasury are going to release guidance, and that changes everything. So we're going to jump into some of the comments and some of the questions, but today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, including actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price, including a credit union on that list that has rates as low as 3%. So definitely check it out if you're interested. But let's jump into some of the comments. Let's see. Zodiac, saw your video about Tower Federal Credit Union. It is possible to become a member, or just for locals? It's very possible and very easy. Alejandro, Model Y long range or Model 3 long range? What do I prefer? I prefer Model Y long range, and a lot of people do too. We did this poll 6 days ago, 1.300 votes, and everybody, 65% prefer the Model Y long range for $45,490, and that $45,490 is after the $7,500 tax credit. Felipe, how about a Model Y Performance at 55K? Yeah, if they would drop it under 55K, that would be sick. Like, what if they did one for 40 or 54,990, white with black interior, no options added or whatever? That would be a crazy slick deal in my opinion, because it's never been that low at all. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Eric, do you think Tesla will do another Tesla Model Y price cut? It's definitely possible. I mean, it seems like a lot of inventory that's essentially stagnant is vehicles that are built above 55K. You can see there's 210 Model Ys available for sale right now, and only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, according to the site, waiting for Tesla that are under 55K. All the rest of them are above 55K, and they do not qualify for the tax credit. So, and if we refresh it again, I bet they're going to be, now there's only 2 under 55K. So definitely a hot vehicle, that's for sure. Ati, welcome. Based on the reduced prices, I hope they will bring the Cybertruck for the price they promised. Yeah, if they could. I mean, they're not going to release a $40,000 Cybertruck right out of the gate. That's a fact. They're going to go high first because they sell the high, really expensive vehicle first to try and get all that margin and profit so they can pay back whatever. And then they start to trickle down. So the last Cybertruck that they're going to release is going to be that $39,000 one. That's for sure. Eric, how much should I pay to upgrade my 2020 used Model 3 Standard Range to Model Y Long Range? $10,000? That's a hard question without knowing like a bunch of more details. Get the Model 3 if you don't have kids. Model Y is a little bit too big for me. Yeah, Model 3 is a great daily driver at the end of the day. DJ, I wish Tesla would offer the 7-seat Model Y Performance. I wanted to pull the trigger, but Model Y not qualifying for the tax credit is a deal breaker for me. Yeah, that's for sure. They need to do something to get that vehicle under 55K. That would be crazy, and I sell like hotcakes. Mika, welcome. I'm curious, who has picked up a 23 long range all-wheel drive? Has anyone got the Matrix headlights on a non-performance? Yeah, that's tough. There is. So Mika, let me show you this. You might have seen already because I know you are pretty savvy. Tesla Motor Club. Great forum that seems to be like the one centralized forum that everybody goes out there. So if you go to the Model Y section, then go to order and whoops, I did Model X. Go to the Model Y section, order, product, and delivery. And there's like basically waiting rooms, as they like to call it, a waiting list. And which, so like you can see, no, probably not that one here, white Model Y. And basically what people do is they'll post like when they reserved or what VIN they got. And sometimes you'll get pictures of like, hey, I just took delivery. Here is one with the new headlights, or here I just got the whatever. And this is my VIN number. And then you can try and piece together like what their VIN number is, what your VIN number is yours after or before theirs, and did they get the Matrix headlights, and did you get the Matrix headlights, or something like that. So if you get what I'm saying, if you're still confused, just message me on Patreon and I'll help you out. But you have to kind of piece together the puzzle, right? To figure out if your VIN is after their VIN and if they got the Matrix headlights or not. And so the best place is find someone that had just took delivery, if they posted their VIN and if they have Matrix headlights, and then see if yours is after their VIN. And then you could pretty much guess or say that yours is going to have it. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to make an educated guess on that. That's for sure. But so we're going to jump into our next topic. So let's see, what do we got? So welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to talk about, will Tesla drop the price of the Model 3 standard range soon? It seems like, Tesla is following similar cadences. They have a certain order of what they do, at least what they've done in the past, like 3-4 months. So it definitely might be possible that a Model 3 standard range price decrease might be coming, and I'll show you why I think that might be the case and why a couple other people also think it's the case as well. So if you're just jumping into the stream, in the video, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically getting the best price on your Tesla, or getting the best deal on your Tesla, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. We stream for an hour a day pretty much at this point. So definitely hit that subscribe if you are interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so Model 3 standard range pricing. The Model 3 standard range pricing is currently at $43,990. It was $46,990. And when this whole, it's only been a week and a few days now, when this whole price drop craze happened last Thursday or Friday, the Model 3 standard range only went down $3,000. And I know I say only, but I say only because even if you look at the dollar amount, $3,000, or even the percentage point, it was really the lowest percentage point difference across all the models. I mean, I think the biggest shocker was the Model Y long range going down 20%, Model 3 Performance down 14%, and Model 3 standard range only down 6% or $3,000. And of course, I'm not sure, why they didn't necessarily need to do that, because the Model 3 standard range was already the cheapest Tesla vehicle, or Tesla Model 3 as well. But taking a look at historical charts, the Model 3 standard range at one point was, when it first came out, $37,000. It went back up to like $40,000. They went back down to like $38,000, $37,000. But the cheapest it's ever been is $37,000. And this is why we potentially think, a Tesla discount might change the price of that coming soon, because inventory of the Model 3 across all levels is starting to spike up. So shout out to Farziness on Twitter, quote, "New Tesla Model 3 inventory continues to increase. Tesla will likely need to incentivize this model. My guess is the relative value of Model Y is potentially cannibalizing Model 3. Will be interesting to see what Tesla does here." And so if you're interested in where this chart actually is, it's actually, shout out to mattjung.net. He tracks Tesla inventories across the country, US only. And you can see right here, we are starting to see an increase of Tesla Model 3s coming into the inventory. And this could be Model 3, Model 3 long range, or even Model 3 performance. And so there's a good amount there. And anytime this has happened in the past 3 to 6 months, Tesla would then do something, whether it's in December, they release that $3,750 discount, or the 10,000 supercharger miles, or even that $7,500 discount. So Tesla's got demand levers and buttons that they could push at any point of time. So it's going to be a very interesting time, because, is the Model 3 standard range going to go down? I mean, of course, we have no crystal ball, but just going off of the track record of what Tesla did in the past, it certainly could happen. You can see right now there's 265 Model 3 standard range available for sale across the country on waitingfortesla.com. Shout out for them. And, they are starting to pull some of their tricks that they've used in the past out of the book. I had a call and scheduled a call with someone scheduled a call with me yesterday, and they have a Model 3 standard range on, or they're interested in a Model 3 standard range, and they did not have one on order. They went onto the Tesla website and scheduled the test drive, and they have a test drive scheduled for next Wednesday. And he told me that the Tesla rep already reached out to them and said, "Hey, we actually have a Model 3 standard range coming into our store that same week. It has the 19-inch rims. I know you don't want the 19-inch rims, but we will waive the credit, or waive the extra cost for that 19-inch rims for you, so you can take delivery." So Tesla, that's actually called an option credit waiver, or option credit incentive. And Tesla did that all through the early days of December. And so it seems like that's still a strategy that the Tesla sales team has in their back pocket. So if you're interested in a Model 3 standard range, try and throw an order in, or try and be interested in a base one, and see if Tesla will incentivize you to take a more built out one with white interior, bigger rims, and see if they'll waive the option on that. So, definitely, some interesting stuff that might be coming regarding the Model 3 standard range. And here's another thought from James Cat, or Tesla fan MTL. Quote, "I think the Model Y at these prices is too compelling, and upselling would be Model 3 buyers to Model Y. Model 3 prices may need to fall further." And that actually makes sense, because if we take a look at the prices after the tax credit, the Model 3 standard range is $36,000. Model 3 long range is $42,000. I mean, you might as well just bump up to that long range. It's a $6,000 difference. I mean, I think that's not worth $6,000 more. I would just get the Model 3 standard range, but maybe a lot of people are willing to get that get that extra long range versus the short range. But then going from like a Model 3 standard range at $36,000 to Model Y standard range, that's what, a $7,000 bump. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I mean, relatively, I guess it's not a lot of money when you're already plunking down $40,000. So you might as well get the biggest vehicle, I guess, for bang for your buck. And so that's why, I mean, a lot of people, there's sentiment out there that the Model Y long range at $45,000 or $52,000 is the best value out there right now. So is it cannibalizing sales? It certainly could be with the current pricing. It's too close. And so potentially the Model Y standard range needs to come down in price. And don't forget, like, Elon prefers volume over profit margin. And he said in the last earnings call, he says the Tesla prices are embarrassingly high. And he wants to get back down to, or he wants to get down to sell more vehicles at the end of the day. So let me know what your thoughts on it. I'm probably going to throw a poll out here. Actually, we'll probably do it right now. Do you think Tesla is going to reduce the price of the... Actually, no. Actually, I already did that. I put a poll out here just a day ago, and I said, at what price is the Tesla Model 3 standard range 100% worth it? Like, no doubt on the price, like, slick deal, buy. Current price is $49,990, and price after tax rate is $36,490. And the overwhelming majority said 31 to 35K, 42%, and then 30K at 22%, and then, of course, $20,000 is the slick deal at 11%. But, I certainly think $25,000 is a sweet spot, and I know Alexis thinks so too, because she's shopping for a used Tesla, and that would be sick if they can get into like used Tesla Model 3 pricing, like 25 to 30K, and they can get a brand new one for 30 to 32, 31. That would be absolutely insane, and I bet that would sell a ton of Model 3 standard ranges. But let me know what your guys' thoughts on it. Do you think the Model 3 standard range could, shave off some more pricing to get a little lower, or do you think it's accurately priced? And I mean, we don't have to guess. I mean, there's a ton in inventory. So when inventory goes up, Tesla only has one move at the end of the day, or they can only incentivize or just do something. So we'll see what happens in the next month, or really we're going to see what happens in March, because March is going to be a rocky time to buy a Tesla with the tax credit changing, it also being the last month of the quarter. All this stuff is definitely going to be pretty interesting, but we're going to jump into some of the comments and some of the questions. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, including actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you schedule the call, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price, including a credit union on that list that has interest rates as low as 3% for 60 months. And I also, as an added benefit, I respond to all messages in my Patreon to my Patreon members. So definitely check out if you're interested. But let's jump into some of the comments. Let's see here. DGen Dev. What'd you say? I saw you said something interesting. I think my Model Y is expected delivery of March 27 to 31st. Hopefully I get the $7,500 credit. Ooh, that is tight. Wow, that's a very accurate date range too. Usually when you're that far out, they say like February 15th to March 15th, but that's pretty interesting that they're going all the way there. Mika, I was scrolling through your videos and you probably made one and I didn't find it. The recommended interior accessories for the Model Y, matte, screen protector, and favorite organizer. That's tough. That's kind of spread out across a bunch. I like the matte screen protector, but then also like the gloss one. So you can really go either way. Like, might as well just change it up every few months. If you're in terms of floor mats, pretty much anything that's under $150. They're all the same to me. And then organizer, Jiawei has a good one. Discount link for Jiawei and Tamai right there on the screen. Oh, I gotta change that. Jiawei, we have some discounts there, but Jiawei is a really, really nice one. It's got like rubberized mat. It's somewhere in my room right now, but I really like that's for sure. Yang, Dennis, tell her I'm going to buy her a Model 3, but no promises. Oh, you're going to buy a Lexus one? No, how nice of you. You'd assume that prices would go up for Project Highland and new hardware for potential USS. Yeah, or, I mean, they could try and use that to incentivize more sales or get more hype on the sales. Just got my VIN for the Model 3. Thanks for all your info. Congrats. Hopefully you were able to secure one relatively quick. Definitely a test drive. Do I need to test drive before I order? No, not necessarily. Let me think about this. Model 3, I did not test drive. Model Y, no, Model 3, I did test drive. Model Y, I did not test drive. Model S, I did not test drive. And my latest Tesla, I also did not test. Well, actually, no, I did, but that was like an older one, a used one. Yang, not sure what nationality you are, but happy Lunar New Year's Eve to you. Happy Lunar New Year's Eve to you as well. Thank you. Blip Blop, imagine how even more successful Tesla would become if they started out the Model Y instead of the Model 3. Well, I mean, they got all those units and profit margins sold, all that stuff. So they did it right? If they came out with the Model Y first, they would not be able to sell the Model 3 at all because no one would want the Model 3. They'd rather just get the Model Y. So they did a good like rotation strategy, I guess. Sell everybody a Model 3 first and then sell everybody that bought a Model 3 a Model Y, because I definitely did that. That's for sure. Cake Batter, 391 Model 3 standard range left in your inventory. How can demand be lowest for Tesla's cheapest model? Yeah, interesting, right? Like, I'm not sure what's going on, but and it makes sense, I guess, because it's what, $10,000 more for a Model Y. So people are probably thinking like, hey, why don't I just spend that extra money and get the bigger vehicle, that one that I'll keep for 3, 5, 10 years. And that's what would make sense. I wish Tesla would offer the 7-seat performance Model Y. I wanted to pull the trigger, but performance Model Y not calling for the 7. Yeah, exactly. I think I read that. Sorry about that. Yeah. So real world drive should be $38,000. Yeah, if they go all the way back to what it was before, and they've done it right. I mean, the Model 3 performance and Model Y performance are at its lowest levels it's ever been in terms of price. And so why not do that for the Model 3 as well? Buy now or wait for Tesla Investor Day in March. Thanks for all your info. Tough. Well, if you need a car now, buy now. If you don't, be patient, because this is just the start, I think, for deals and discounts, and it's going to be a roller coaster this year for sure. Kella, welcome back. I got a delivery date January 28th to February 11th, but no VIN or update. Ooh, that's really close, like a week or 2 weeks from now, or 3 weeks. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, VIN might pop in like maybe even a week before. It really could be at any possible time. So definitely watch out for that. Log into the app, log into the website, and see if there's a VIN. And also, you could talk to your local Tesla sales center, see if there's any incoming vehicles that you could try and throw your name on it to match up your order to a vehicle. And so we got one more topic. So welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to talk about how Tesla has pushed orders for the Tesla Model Y. And this is exactly what I predicted a week ago. I predicted, if you are ordering, I told people do not order a Tesla Model Y off the website unless you absolutely have to, because this could potentially happen to you. And why this is so bad, or at least why this is so bad for people that are potentially trying to get a vehicle. This is bad for people that are trying to take delivery of a Model Y and that are trying to combine it with this $7,500 tax credit. So we'll talk about it, why this could potentially negatively impact you, and we'll look at the exact dates that Tesla is pushing out delivery times or order estimates or production times on the Model Y specifically. So we're going to get into that, but if you're just joining into the stream, if you're just joining into the video, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, but more on that later. All right, so let's take a look at this. If you've been living under a rock, this is why Tesla, has this demand right now, because a week ago, Tesla dropped the price on all vehicles across the board. So shout out to Christopher Dungeon for posting this great tweet. And you can see the Model Y long range was the biggest shocker, dropping down $13,000 or 20% off the price from $66,990 to $53,000. Absolutely insane. If you combine that with the $7,500 tax credit, you're what, like $50 or $47,000? Like, it's a slick deal, that is for sure. And so Tesla dropped the price, and the reason why they did is because of this tax credit, because of the IRS and the Treasury basically put a $55,000 MSRP cap on the Tesla Model Y 5 seats. And so what that means is how you build it, how you order it, it cannot be above $55,000. And that includes the base price plus any color, paint options, interior, or any of that stuff. But taking a look at the Tesla website, this is the big shocker. You can see right here, Model Y long range 52990. It now has an estimated delivery date or time frame of February to April of 2023. For a while, or at least for the past week, this was January to February and then January to March. And now Tesla has pushed that delivery date or production date or delivery date really all the way past March into April. And this is why that's important. Because the $7,500 federal tax credit, this banner right here on the top, it specifically says that a certain Model 3 and Model Y trims qualify for that tax credit if you qualify yourself. But quote right here, this credit amount is in effect for deliveries only until March of 2023. So potentially if you place an order for a Model Y long range right now, you might not be able to get that tax credit if you take delivery after March of 2023. We don't know exactly if that's March 1st or March 31st. So, it could be a scary time and it's too risky. So this is my recommendation. If you are looking to buy a Model Y long range, if you're trying to put your name on it, do not put an order unless you absolutely have to. If you can't find a vehicle in stock, I would say just put one in the queue just so that your name is in there. It's a $250 risk, but really this is what I would want you to do. Go to waitingfortesla.com. It's a third-party aggregator site that tracks all the new car inventory across the country. Go to the Model Y section, filter down by. You can take a look at the whole country and just stalk this site and see if there's a vehicle under 55K. And it's tough. And it seems like any time that a Model Y that's under 55 comes out, it quickly sells right after that. So stalk this site, take a look at it, check it out. You can filter by different parameters, but there's not a lot of Model Y long ranges under that 55K threshold. So, if you're in California, you're in luck. Literally right now, there's 2, but these are most likely gone. By the time we click it, still here. Oh, wow, still slick 2 deals. If you're looking for a inexpensive Model Y, right here, that's where you can get it. And that's for sure. DGen Dev, I saw your comment earlier. The delivery dates are pushing out. Yours is definitely the latest that I've seen at March 27 to March 31st. Before that, I was hearing people have delivery dates from anywhere from February 15th to March 15th. But now that yours says March 27th to 31st, that's definitely giving me, a little scary. But, at the end of the day, I could easily see this. I wouldn't be too worried about it 100% because I could easily see this. Right now, the tax credit is a full $7,500 because the IRS and the Treasury have not released full guidelines on the 2 parts of that tax credit, because that tax credit, $7,500, is technically broken out into 2 parts, $3,750 and $3,750. The first $3,750 is the critical battery minerals. They have to be basically sourced from America or free trade partners and basically not China. And then the battery components have to be manufactured in the US. And so a lot of or other countries that are free trade. And a lot of speculation and rumors is that the Model Y and the Model 3 would only qualify for half of the tax credit, or $3,750. And so that if that is the case, if March 23rd or March 2023 rolls around and the Model Y only qualifies for $3,750, I could easily see Tesla just going out and saying, hey, we know that our vehicle only has a $3,750 tax credit. Here's the other $3,750 as an incentive or a discount. So you have the full $7,500 tax incentive. But I could also see this. March rolls around, or even April rolls around, the vehicle only qualifies to $3,750. They would probably wait a few weeks or wait a month, just like how they waited all the way till January 12th to release this crazy discount or price adjustments that they currently did. I could easily see them waiting half a month through April before they do any sort of extra discount on top of that. So definitely be aware of that. That's for sure. Yeah, these 2 Model Ys are all-wheel drive, but I think the all-wheel drive is a great deal. Yes, it's a $2,000 difference from the all-wheel drive to the long range, and yes, you get 269 miles versus 330. But $2,000 is $2,000. That's tint, that's PPF, that's ceramic, that's all the stuff you can throw into it. Unless you're someone that's a road warrior that's doing a lot of long trips and road trips like from California to Vegas or New York to Washington DC or something, then I can easily see how that could get annoying at the end of the day. But we're gonna jump into some of the comments and some of the questions. But before we get into that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, including actually scheduling a call with me where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you schedule the call, you can link to my buying guide, which is linked to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price. And right now, there's a credit union on that list that has interest rates as low as 3%. So definitely check out if you're interested. And as an added benefit, I respond to all DMs in my Patreon app. So if you're looking to ask any specific questions, I will respond to you 100,000%. So let's take a look. Yang, any luck on getting a LFP Tesla here on the US, California? I hear it's better than the lithium ion battery. No, unless there's no way actually. I don't even know about like exporting or anything. Like, doesn't make any sense. Joshua, I have a delivery date of January 23rd to January 29th and receive VIN. Should I start looking for finance? Yes, 100%. Well, if you have a VIN, you need to look for financing 100%. And Patreon members have a link to my buying guide, which has all the financing credit unions. Mo, those two Model Ys are standard range, not extended. Yeah, for sure. They need to define until the latest. Yeah, and they probably won't know until as we get closer, because the IRS and Treasury probably have not told them at all. Tesla is starting to feel like a game all by the day. There's a Model 3 rear-wheel drive for $38K without the federal tax credit. Yeah, it's a waiting game, right? Like if you want the best possible deal, then you just got to look at all the macro elements and everything like that, because we've seen it, and it's kind of scary how Tesla can drop the price on a vehicle $13,000 overnight, and so they could easily do that the same. So I would say if you're Model 3 standard range, if you like the price, if you need a car, then go. If there's other elements like you have to trade in a vehicle or you have an auto loan approval that only lasts 30 days, then go for it. But if you don't need a car and all that stuff, then you might as well just wait, as certainly because we are on the cusp of this earnings call as well, for sure. But yeah. Rex, welcome. Order silver long range on January 14th. Estimated delivery date March 10 to February 10 to March 10. Does the tax incentive end March 31st? We don't know. It could be March 1st. It could be March 31st. We have no idea what the time frame is. All Tesla is saying and telling us that March 2023 at this point. So definitely tough. That's for sure. But thanks for watching this stream. Please hit that like if you enjoyed, drop a comment, and I will see you guys tomorrow, probably around this same time, around 12 noon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys.